with just seconds remaining on the watch. And Gilligan makes a break on the far side. Elliott trying to go by Dermot O'Neill as Gilligan was coming in a second time. There it is. The cup has been won by Sligo Rovers. What scenes there will be after this match. The first time they've ever won the cup. Stenson had a great match indeed, lying on the ground. And McLaughlin, who scored the cup-winning goal, he can't believe it. Paul Fielding, the manager, their 6th attempt to win the cup, and they've done it at last. And Paul Fielding, after a disastrous league campaign, is the first manager ever to bring the cup to Connacht. Mick Graham, one of the subs, who did his bit in Cork on Easter Sunday to score that goal 3 minutes from the finish against Cove Ramblers. Tony Stenson, he got the first of the Sligo goals. The goalkeeper had produced one superb save in that second half, but right throughout this cup campaign has been really dominant in his own penalty area. Gus Gilligan, who can forget his winner last weekend? One would estimate that there must be between 5,000 and 6,000 Sligo supporters here at this match, and they're certainly going to enjoy themselves. And there's the cup. What celebrations there will be in Sligo, not just tonight, not just tomorrow night when they come back with the cup, but right throughout the next week. And those amazing banners, a little too difficult to read from this angle. It's the Eastskey Supporters Club, I think. And whatever the message says, the meaning, I'm sure, is much the same. They expected their team to do it, and they've done it. First of all, the runners-up, Gino Lawless, a sad moment for him. It's the second time in 2 years that Bohs will occupy the losers' dressing room here at Dalymount Park. John Farrell, the president of the FAI, giving his medal there to Jackie Jemison. Sligo, meanwhile, are still down there on the ground. It may be raining, the ground may be full of dirt and muck at this stage, but who cares if you're a Sligo supporter? Dave Connell making his way off for Bohemians, and Stenson leading his team across towards the Sligo supporters, saying, you played your part in this as well. The Sligo supporters absolutely drenched in the pouring rain at Dalymount. This supporter here, he's been at every one of the Sligo matches in the cup, and there are tears streaming down his face now. What a moment to savour if you're a Sligo Rovers supporter. Indeed, our producer here at this match is also a Sligo Rovers supporter. And he's quite happy, I've no doubt. I'm sure that just about every neutral supporter in the country won't begrudge Sligo their success. They win the cup by 2 goals to 1. A memorable comeback in the second half when they seemed to be dead and buried. Bohemians showed all the good skill, all the good football, and got a goal in that first half from a corner by Barry Murphy after 34 minutes. But then who can forget that comeback? The 2 goals in the second half, the first from their centre-back Tony Stenson. It may have been his first cup goal of the season, but what a vital one it was. And Harry McLaughlin, who got the second, being chaired off the field now. This is the player, they said, had the ability to win the cup for Sligo, and he's done it. Ecstatic Sligo supporters with their scarves, with their colours, and they're going to have a real old night here in Dublin as McLaughlin comes up towards the presentation area to receive his Cup Winners' Medal, a moment he's going to savour for an awful long time. The match officials who did well, who allowed the game to flow all through, they get their mementos as well. And there, just to the right of the picture, gone out of picture, was Ray McSharry. Just to the right of the celebrations there, as John Farrell gives the cup to Tony Fagan. Fagan, having lost in 3 cup finals, wins a cup medal. And there it is, a moment for every Sligo supporter to savour. Tony Fagan takes the cup for the first time back to Sligo. Tremendous scenes of joy and celebration. Andy Elliott there with the top of the cup on his head. Paul Fielding being swallowed up by one of the players. The manager, who told me this morning that everything was just right. The team were in good form, and they've showed it. But one has to feel a certain degree of sadness also for Bohemians, beaten twice in the cup final in successive years. A very young team, and I've no doubt we've to see the best of Bohemians yet. But the day belongs to Sligo. That's a cup which will be well filled, I'm sure, tonight and throughout the next week. The cup being held aloft by Mick Graham there. And there are some Cove Ramblers supporters just there to the top of your picture. The FAI invited 18 of the Cove Ramblers party to come to Dublin at their expense in tribute to the great way in which Cove made this cup campaign such a memorable one. And they're celebrating with these Sligo supporters now. A sea of red and white all over Dalymount Park. Tremendous scenes of excitement. Sligo for so long, an outpost of football in the West. And this today, of course, a tribute not just to the players, but to the mentors, the people who've kept football alive in the West all through the years, when it died a death in other areas. Heather O'Driscoll there to the left, John Farrell in the centre. And all of them bound for Spain later tonight. Mr. Donald Creed, the Minister for Sport, in the centre also. The FAI officials will be leaving for Spain at 7 o'clock tonight for our vital European Nations Cup game in Zaragoza on Wednesday night. A match you can see, of course, on RTE1 television. But for now, we'll leave you from Dalymount Park with the news that Sligo Rovers have won the FAI Cup for 1983 for the first time in their history. The final score, Sligo Rovers 2.
Best cup final fare in living memory. Indeed, the only sad aspect about the game was that there had to be a loser. But against all the odds and with their backs to the wall, a goal down at half-time, Rovers put on an amazing second-half display and snatched victory with 2 classic textbook goals. Well, last night the team returned to Sligo in triumph with the cup. The Ireland's Eye cameras went with them. But first, those wonderful goals which brought victory.
They'll be looking for Stenson's head away at the far post. As over it comes Elliott. Stenson! 1-1. 12 minutes gone in the second half. And Sligo have come back into the match. And they've done it in style. Murphy's unmarked. Back towards the throw. Jamison lets it slide forward towards Rocky O'Brien, a tackle from Graham Fox. And MacDonald back is enough back for Harry McLaughlin, who's got a bit of space, and he's got 2 players inside him. The little chip, oh, that's a beautiful goal by McLaughlin! Surely a goal to win a cup final. And there it is, a moment for every Sligo supporter to savour. Tony Fagan takes the cup for the first time back to Sligo.
Sligo supporters couldn't wait to make that journey home, and after the victory they did their best to paint Dublin red. It was yesterday though before they celebrated with a vengeance. The festivities had an early